The only time I've worn a robe remotely close to that is when I graduated college. Well, also high school, but most recently. I don't know a lot of other settings, and I get what John's trying to do here with that. Um, some things to say about that, but we'll get to it. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we are talking about We Are, the 8th studio album released by Jon Batiste. At least it looks like it's his 8th album. It looks like he's done quite a few other things, along with live albums, extended plays, a soundtrack, participating in Soul. So he's been around doing all kinds of different collaborations and other music projects, technically throughout. So we could just say, yeah, he's been doing a lot. So this is the part of the year where I try to catch up a little bit on some of the music that may have passed me by. And usually the Grammys are something that help me figure out maybe I should review this before the end of the year. Jon Batiste was one of these guys. Somehow he slipped by me, and I decided, all right, we'll check this out. And the first time listening to this, I was like, oh, okay, there's some 70s, maybe pushing 60s R&B jazz kind of stuff here. Imagine listening to the soundtrack of Remember the Titans. Kind of that kind of feel right there. And that is about where I start liking it and kind of where I stop liking it at the same time. I don't really connect with a lot of the songs here. I don't really necessarily hate the songs here either. I feel a little compromised on this because it seems like John's trying to put in a lot of profound ideas in this album, and they kind of feel basic from certain points of view for select songs. And then they feel like they're trying to push something harder or something from another perspective, which may not be completely validated from the angle he's coming from. Let me keep talking about the music for a little bit before we delve a little bit deeper into the lyrical content. So as I mentioned, this is a style that I do enjoy quite a bit. He does reference an alto saxophone in one of the songs here, which does make an appearance, at least the sound. I don't know if he's the one who's playing it, but I know that the sound of a saxophone pops up kind of randomly in a few songs here, along with piano and tons of other instruments that benefit the style that we are listening to here. But then also this is one of those albums where it feels like sometimes the vocals are not well balanced with the music. And I don't remember which is more. Sometimes the vocals are given a little bit more emphasis, but sometimes also the music overshadows in overall dynamics with the vocals. So there isn't necessarily a well balance for the entirety of the album. Tying what I just said into some of the other things I'm going to go into here, there was a lot of moments after about the halfway mark, I was thinking, this album needs some grit to it. Like, if he's trying to maybe say these things that I feel are profound in his mind, I don't necessarily feel like he's projecting it. It kind of makes it sound like, in a way, at least his tone for the style that he is singing is either basic or just widely accepted. And from a certain angle, I get that, but I think in some of the other ways that he's trying to push some ideas, he should have used a little bit of grit, even if I may or may not agree with it. Simple messages in titles like Tell the Truth, yeah, you would think that would just be obvious, but there's some sort of angle where it's just like, yeah, but he's kind of presuming a few ideas in there where you don't know if that is true or not. If this song was just purely about telling the truth, then I would excuse it. But there are some implications on things that are not widely accepted as truth, and therefore can't really give it a pass entirely. The problem is sometimes some things are presumed here and not actually have been proven true. And that just kind of goes throughout the album with songs like What You Talking About and the song Freedom, which is a song I almost would like, except it just kind of falls back into that category where it feels like it's trying to be more profound than it actually is. It just kind of feels like it's not quite yet mature enough to actually understand what it's trying to say. That's a pretty good way of explaining the majority of the themes in the lyrics that are presented here. Whereas in a couple other songs, it feels like it's relying on you to be nostalgic about references that it uses, such as the song Show Me the Way, which relies on referring to Ella Fitzgerald, Stevie Wonder, Billie Holiday. It kind of feels like it's shrouding the quality to make you think that it's better than maybe it actually is. Now, the reason why I think this thing is so maybe appealing or maybe slightly popular at this point is in fact for the genre style that it's going for. And I want to like that, but again, if you are going to have lyrics included, you have to bring an A game and you have to bring in something that actually says something and says something musical, artistic, not something that is kind of assuming that we're all on board with. I think I could go into maybe a deeper review in some of the other songs here, but then I feel like it wouldn't really be talking about the music all that much. So perhaps more conversations can be brought in the comments or somewhere else. I don't know. But for me, regarding this album, I think there's a lot of things that sound good and then just a lot of other things that just didn't grip me. So after having listened and reviewed this album with the following grades in the following categories here, how would I recommend this album? I'm going to give it an okay. Yeah, a little bit harsh, but you know what? Recently, the Grammys have been doing that a lot, where they get some albums that I definitely agree with, and some where I'm just like, really? I mean, I get the elements that you enjoy, but did you listen to the whole thing? That's where I think I'm having a little bit of this disagreement right now. But all the same, I will definitely want to check out more of his content because I'm not entirely well versed with his content, and I'm interested enough to see what all this jazzy other stuff he's made in the past. He's got quite a musical family from what I've read before, so something I probably should immerse myself in. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want more Yes in your life, be sure to subscribe to this channel where you can discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment that'll make you say yes. I don't really have a highlight here, do I? Well, I did like Movement 11. It's the only thing that is instrumental in here, but beyond that, yeah, unfortunately, no. If you have a favorite song, I'd like to know that down below, so just comment. More music and more reviews to come your way soon, I guess.